Hi, my name is Linda Burgard, and I am the Agriculture in the Classroom Coordinator in Chickasaw County, Iowa. I am here on the Suhr Dairy Farm to welcome you to see some of our friends and some of our animals. Currently, we are having tours going on, and so we have a lot of other animals that have been brought to this farm, and we're going to show them to you and let you listen to them, and we hope you enjoy our tour. With me today is Edie Suhr. She is 13 years old and lives here. And go ahead.
So this is a baby duckling that I have with me.
And tell them, describe what it feels like.
They have web feet, like it just feels like skin, and then they're so fuzzy.
Okay. And this is another story. Oh, there you go. You hear one of the roosters. We'll show him to you in just a minute. You go ahead.
My name is Hannah Meyer. I'm 16. I'm actually a neighbor of the Suhrs. I come here very often. I actually show some of their animals, mostly heifers, cows, in 4-H. We have this certain program called Share a Heifer, where our people can come in from two farms to, borrow a cow or a chicken or whatever, and share them at the fair. So I have actually one of the chickens here. He's pretty much full grown. He's kind of crazy.
She is.
Yeah, sorry. These are a little more, not scary, but they have sharper beaks and claws.
And she has a beautiful comb on the top of her head. And on the side right here, it's white. And that tells us what color her eggs are going to be. And so we can tell right there. And that was pretty brave of me to put my hand up there because she could have turned and pecked me pretty good. Can you show them their feet? Her feet? And they're kind of
stand right there.
They're pretty wild looking there, and they will claw. Those are a little bit more dangerous than the duck, the webbed feet that they use when they paddle in the water. What you've been hearing are the roosters behind us, and the first one we're going to show you is the silver leghorn, and he is the rooster that usually lives with the chickens, but because we've been having visitors, we had to put him in a cage because he can get kind of mean sometimes. He lives here on this farm. The other rooster, is a yellow, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. The yellow leg pearl, I think it's pronounced. And this one has beautiful colors on it, and when the sun hits it, you can really see that. We mentioned roosters. Roosters are the males of the chickens, and the hens are the females. And the females lay eggs, and we'll show you some where they actually go, where they lay the eggs. So we'll walk this way. We're gonna go in there.
Oh, we are.
And they're having lunch today. They're having a special treat today. They're getting some old cantaloupes that we had here, and so we're just letting them eat them. See some different colored chickens in here? And like I said, if you look on the side of their head, you can see what color their eggs are going to be. And where are those different combs? I don't see it. Some of them have a different comb, and they're called a rose comb. And there's one underneath there, but it's going to have to walk out. So I don't know if I can get it to come out here. There, look at the comb on that one. That's a rose comb. It's a little bit different. This is up here is where the chickens lay their eggs, and there's one in there right now, and she might have already laid her egg, or she might be going to lay her egg pretty soon, and you can see that a lot of them can do it. Well, sometimes if the eggs don't have anywhere to go, then they get a little bit of chicken poop on them, and that's not very pleasant for us to eat. But Suhrs have this awesome thing that you can open up, and the eggs roll right down. Oh, this one rolled a little bit too hard, and it cracked, so we'll have to throw that one out. But look at here, here's an egg. And this is just a normal chicken egg, so this is a white one. Edie and her brother and sister come out and pick up all the eggs, and then they sell them, and people buy them to eat. So I'm going to leave that one there so that when the kids come back to do their chores. This is where the chickens like to stand on, or they roost on there. And this is the chicken feed. And it's very fine.
It feels like sand, almost.
It feels like sand, okay. And I think it smells good. It is ground up corn, and I don't know what else is in it, but mainly ground up corn, and that's what the chickens like to eat. And so it's just kind of fun. They have a waterer, and you don't have to be afraid of them, but they can. You still have to be aware that they're here so that they don't hurt you. All right. Okay. Edie's going to put the duckling back in there, and she's going to pick up, she's got in her hand, a turkey. Now the ducks, the babies are called ducklings. The turkeys are called poults. And so it's just, this will grow up to be, full-size turkey. And the turkey males, the older ones are called toms, and the girls are called hens. And then this is a poult. The ducklings, we have the male is the drake. The mother is just, the females are just called ducks. And then we have the ducklings. And here are some baby chickens, which are chicks. And I'm going to take the cover off. Oh, maybe not. There's two covers. Take the cover off so you can see them. They're just some little chicks. There's about 6 or 7 in there. And these chicks are about 3 weeks old. So they were much smaller. And you can see that they're eating some of the same stuff. But it's some of the same corn, and they have a drinking fountain there, a little bit different than the ones that we use. I showed you the chicken egg before, and now I'm going to show you some pheasant eggs. These pheasant eggs are much smaller, and they're a pretty cool color. Kind of interesting to see the color. And Eli's brother's name is Edie's brother's name is Eli, and he put together to let us compare the eggs. So we have a chicken egg, we have a pheasant egg, and then he found a sparrow egg. Look at the difference in the size and even some in the color. So a lot of birds, the sizes vary on the eggs and everything, so that's kind of interesting to see those. Hannah is in the pen with cows that are dry. What that means is that they are going to have a calf very soon. And so before they are going to have the calf, they do not get milked for a while. Also in here are some heifers. A heifer is a girl calf that grows up, and then when she has her first calf herself, then she's considered a cow. So Hannah's over there. That looks like a pretty young heifer that will have her first calf somewhere down the road here, or somewhere soon. The other thing about the dry cows, if you see over on the right, there is some lime, the white powdery stuff, and that is what we put down so that the cows have something to lay on, and it helps with the pH balance, with the urine and all the other things, and it helps protect the cows from getting some diseases. So you can see that we take good care of the cows. You'll also notice that the cows are marked, or all look a little bit different. They're all Holstein cows in here, but each one has a different print on them. And kind of like our thumbprints are different, the cows are different. All right, now we're going to see some other animals, and these don't belong to the Suhrs, but we wanted you to see them. We have a large goat here named JC, and she just kind of hangs out. She has horns, and looks like she's munching on something there. Edie's trying to get her attention. She's pretty soft. Behind her you'll see a wool sheep and her 2 lambs. The wool sheep will be sheared eventually. They usually are sheared a couple times a year. Actually, she was sheared before she had her lambs, and then her wool grows back. And her wool is it's kind of rough, but it's really greasy because it has lanolin in it. And lanolin is used in shampoos and chapstick and other kinds of hand lotion and things like that. Behind her, in the next pen, you will see another sheep, and she's a different kind. She's called a hair sheep, and you can see the difference in the wool and the hair sheep, and it just feels so much different. And this one isn't knotted up as much as that one. Some clothes are made with the wool from the sheep. She has 2 cute little lambs herself, and they're just eating some hay. That's what they hay and some other grain that they eat. In the back are 2 little fainting goats. Kind of hard to see them because it's kind of dark under there, and they don't like to come out very much. They're just kind of shy.
I was gonna say I'm not sure that I'm getting them here. Oh, there they are. Oh, she's gonna take a look at that. She's taking pictures of them.
So these are mini Rex rabbits. They have really soft fur.
These are actually very small right now. They get much bigger. They get to about, I don't know, probably about twice the size of this by a year old. So yeah.
They're used as show rabbits, correct? Yeah, show rabbits. And I have in my hand the feed for the rabbits. You'll see how much different that is than the corn that we have for the chickens. And they also have water, and that's what this kind of rabbit. The next pen has a different kind of rabbit in it.
Let's turn back up and watch the videos, or do you want to squeeze by?
Go ahead.
So this is
Rabbit was a meat. Edie told you the white rabbit was a meat rabbit. The first 2 we showed you, the girls were holding, Peanut and Oreo, they are show rabbits, as are these. These are called lop-ear rabbits. And if you can see, their ears they hang down. They don't stick up above their heads. So they're kind of interesting rabbits. These are Emily's rabbits, and she calls them Mickey and Minnie.
So these are some baby piglets that we got. They have hair. It's kind of stiff though.
These are all from the same litter. There's 4 of them, but if you notice, they're different colors. And they are a cross of a Berkshire and a Hampshire pigs. And these pigs are about 3 weeks old. And if you remember, Edie showed you the chicks that were about 3 weeks old. It's a little bit different in size. These are piglets. They're mom and dad. The mom is the sow, and the father, their dad is called a boar.
This is a miniature pony. This is full grown. This is about as big as she gets. She's really soft.
Ponies are ponies their whole life. They don't grow up to be horses. They are just ponies. It's a miniature one.
And this is the Shetland pony. She can get a little bigger, but
And now you get to see my friend Erky. wondering if it's going to be born during the tours here. You notice she has a nice stripe down her back, and we think that's pretty awesome. And she had a cold last year. And oh, look at there, Rosemary's looking up at you trying to smile for you. She's a pretty good old gal.
Let's get his face.
You heard Joseph a few minutes ago when he was braying. This is Rosemary's colt from last year. Joseph is about a year and a half old, and something kind of special about him is that he was born on Christmas Day. That's when his birthday is. So he's a pretty good looking little miniature donkey. We already saw two miniature a miniature pony and a Shetland pony and the miniature donkeys. Well, these are a little bit bigger. These are draft horses or work horses. They're called Percherons, and most people don't use them for work anymore. They mainly use them for doing fun things like having them pull a wagon or a hay rack. And they're a team, and they work together to pull whatever needs to be. They have beautiful harness that their owners have that they put on them. They're a pretty sight going down the road. So here we have a new addition to the Suhr Dairy Farm. This calf was born today out in a different building. And I know it's a girl because she has a yellow tag. Suhr, the farmer, puts a yellow tag in all the girls and keeps the numbers. They keep going up. And she was born today, so she's in this pen. And we had one born yesterday also, which is pretty exciting. This is another calf, and this one is a boy calf. And it looks like he's ready to eat. He has a red tag in his ear. And he was born in April, which it tells on his tag. So he is a bull calf, and he will not stay on this farm. He will be sold eventually. The girl calves all stay on the farm and eventually get milked. They just get moved around as they get bigger, and then eventually they'll be mamas and they'll be milked. So this is a boy calf, the bull, and we already saw the girl calf, the heifer. Where's the red one? These cow or bulls and heifers out here were born before January. They were born from pretty much November to December, and you can see that they're bigger than the one that we saw that was just born today. This is a heifer over here, a female. And like I said, she will stay on the farm and eventually be milked. We also have some pigs in here, but it looks like they're snoozing, so we can't see them. I think they're resting over there. Can you see them over there? And so this is one of the lots that they get moved to as they get bigger. We already saw the dry lot quite a while ago. This poster shows us what dairy cows eat, and if you notice, it shows you a picture also that shows how when the cow eats, then it goes into one part of its stomach. A cow has 4 different parts inside of its stomach, and after it goes into the first part, you'll see the arrows. It comes back out, and then the cows stand and they chew. It looks like they're chewing gum a lot, and what it is, we call it chewing their cud, and they're just grinding up their feed a little bit longer, and then it eventually goes through. And what they what they eat will determine how good the milk is and the amount of milk. And so the Suhrs and other dairy farmers have professional nutritionists come in to help determine what they should be eating. You can see that what they're eating is a combination of hay and corn and a lot of things ground up. It can be called haylage or silage, and it's really soft and it falls apart really easily. And a lot of people say it smells funny, but I really like the smell. I used to be a dairy farmer, and I really like the smell of it.
So the farmer will drive a tractor and a wagon down this that mixes up all their feed, and then he'll drive it down and it'll feed on one side, and then he'll turn around down there and then it'll feed all the other sides.
And there are about 250 cows in here, and they all will be milked tonight. They get milked at 5 at night, 5 in the morning, and 11 at night. And they pretty much eat and lay around most of the day, but that's how we get milk.
From the inside of the tractor. Lots and lots of gadgets and switches. Looks different than the inside of a car.
So this is a tilt table, and it flips. A cow walks in it, and then it flips on its side, and we give the cows manicures and pedicures.
Here. Okay.
So this is the milk room. The milk truck comes every day. This is called the milk tank, and it holds approximately 3,000 gallons of milk. Milk is tested by us at each milking and also by the milk truck driver to be sure that it is the best quality possible. This room must stay as clean as your kitchen, as state and federal inspectors can come at any time. We have 3 full-time employees that do our milking with us.
Okay.
This is a milking parlor, and this milking parlor is where they milk all the cows. And we'll show you after a little bit when it has the cows in it. But what will happen is in a little while the cows will start coming in from the end, and they just walk in a line just like you would do when you're going to the drinking fountain. And so the cows just come in and they all stop at a certain place, and they come in on both sides. And after the cows are in here, then the people that are hired to milk the cows will clean off the udder, the bag underneath the cow, as well as the teats, and then they will put on the milkers, and then after they're done milking, they will take a dip with iodine and some other things to keep the teats soft so they don't get cracked and chapped and sore for the cows. After they're done milking, the gate opens and the cows walk back out and the next group comes in. It takes about 3 hours to milk 250 cows, and we'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. Here we are inside the other side of the free stall where we saw the cows eating. This is the area that the cows will be coming through and heading through this gate, and they only let in so many that will come into the milking parlor. And they will walk through here, and they'll go into the milking, they'll go on the side and walk right and stay in line and head up to the front to get milk. After they get done, they will walk back the other side down the front and walk back down and go back into the free stall.
So we have to clean off all the tits. So first we dip them with this special dip, and then we go through and wipe them all. And then after they're milked, we have to dip them with another dip to close up their tits and make sure that they don't get infection.